over from you as your successor in Doctor Who?
Peter Davison. I thought at the time that Peter Davison's choice, I must say, he is an excellent actor, he's done wonderful work, and I've often met him. We're not exactly friends, but we're civilised to each other. But I remember thinking that was a terrible error of judgment for this reason. When Peter Davison took over from me, he was already established as having a fictional identity. Those of you who are old enough to cast your mind back, he was prodigiously successful as the vet. Do you remember in All Creatures Great and Small? So when the children were watching, I imagine the children were saying, that's not the doctor, that's the vet. Simply because your children are, well, I think with everyone as well. So I think that was a very strange, although no one has ever failed with Doctor Who. No one has ever failed. Remotely. Even, no one. Even the boy who did the film, didn't he? I've forgotten what his name was.
Paul McGann.
Yes. So, although it's been so important to me, people say, do you miss doing Doctor Who? In a sense, because of the devotion of fans like you who are here today, I have never stopped being Doctor Who because, and the fans don't want me to stop being Doctor Who. And when I go on the stage, which I do occasionally, I realise whatever I'm doing, or whatever, that people want me to do it in the style of Doctor Who, which is, my silly style of Doctor Who, which means that when I played Sherlock Holmes in Ireland, it caused an absolute sensation. Of course it did, because, first of all, Sherlock Holmes never wore a long scarf. And certainly didn't walk the way I apparently walked. This is the days when I could walk. But that's what the fans want, because the bonding of fans, here I am, 30 years after the event. Most of you here weren't even born 30 years ago, were you? Is there anyone here over 30? They're just kind of, teasing me. So it's wonderful that, isn't it, that the power of fiction, that fiction can become such an important part in our lives. The fantasy world, like the fantasy world of literature, of television, of films, of stamps, whatever it is you're interested in. And for some people, the fantasy, by fantasy I mean unprovable word, perhaps of religion even. Where people believe all sorts of preposterous things, don't they? Absolutely believe it, emphatically. I mean, when I was a child, I couldn't get over the fact that God was everywhere. I just couldn't get over it. That's why Roman Catholics in my generation are often very uptight. Because, not only is God everywhere, which makes you a bit shy. Getting into your pajamas, getting the light out as if God couldn't see in the dark. And then, not only that, so you've got God everywhere. My mother kept hammering, God's watching you. And looking around like that. I never saw him. But anyway, not only that, but we had a guardian angel on your right shoulder. That's the Roman Catholic doctrine from years ago. So what, with God seeing you everywhere, trying to get your pajamas on modestly, or not to make too much noise in the bathroom, whatever it is, it's simply terrifying, because it made you so nervous, And so going to do a poo was an absolute nightmare. Well into my 30s. Just after I stopped sitting on my mother's knee, because I was doing that when I was in my 30s. She had tremendous thighs. But those sort of things, we can believe anything, and they're all, in a sense, escape routes, What pleases us and makes us laugh or makes us weep, like the music we listen to, or when we gather together. What is so lovely about being a fan, everyone's a fan of something, is that we love being all together for the same reason. Rather, I think that may be more important than the appearance, of the people we admire or thought were lucky or thought were terrible. But we go along with them because we are bonded together. You can feel that here. There's no enmity between us. We're all agreed about everything. That it's nice being here. And it's better being here than being somewhere else, even if it's Tom Baker up there, talking absolute nonsense. And finally, in case he falls over. We're all agreed. Are we all agreed about that?
Yes.
Ask me another question.